Okay, so the news was released through Tim Kawakami in the last, 24, 48 hours. The Warriors are willing to trade Andrew Wiggins. And, that's if you look at how the Warriors have operated, and obviously Dunleavy is new, but like that is, hey, everybody, we're open for business. Like that is like we're looking to trade Andrew Wiggins, right? Because they usually don't say you don't usually who's the last player that was announced the Warriors were open to trading. Wiseman doesn't count. That was like a fiasco, right? But like an actual guy on our team that was like, hey, we're open to trading him. Even D'Lo, they didn't say that. But yeah, so without further ado, I was looking at this Hawks team as they continue to plummet in the standings. The Kings beat them at home last night, came back and beat them. DeJounte Murray is on the block. What about Clint Capella for Andrew Wiggins straight up? Now, Clint Capella is splitting minutes with Onyeka Okongwu at the 5 spot, like pretty much down the middle. He's playing 26 minutes a game, right? And 12 and 10, 12 points, 10 rebounds. He is 29 years old. He has 1 year left after this season at $22 million. One interesting thing about him, I haven't seen the Hawks play a ton. He's a career 53% free throw shooter. A lot of you probably remember in those Houston matchups, sending him to the line was a godsend a lot of the time because he killed us. He was a tough man. Remember, he popped a lot of shit during those matchups, but I think he's matured a little bit. He's shooting 70% from the foul line this year. Like that's a big deal for a player like Capella, a lob guy and a guy that can get there a lot, right? When you get to 70 now, you don't mind them there, right? And so yeah, I don't know. They would be obviously leading into Okongwu as their starting 5. Wiggins is a you know, whatever team trades for Wiggins is going to sell themselves on the fact that he needs a change of scenery. And maybe he's a guy that needs a reboot every, couple of seasons, and his tool set, and you point to the championship year and what he could potentially be. He's still physically in his prime. And I think the other selling point when the Warriors are taking and making these calls is, well, we love Wiggs. He's had these setbacks, but he's blocking Kuminga. Like we can, what I mean? That can be part of it is like, it's not that we really want to get Wiggs. We just have this log jam here, right? So, the Hawks, I'm not saying it's a great fit for them, but they've got to do something. And I know that they like Okongwu better than Capella moving forward. You say, well, what about getting Okongwu? Is that a possibility? He has a poison pill contract, which I had to read up on this morning. You've heard so much about it. Daryl Morey started it, didn't he? But essentially, he signed a rookie extension. And if they trade him before the extension kicks in, whoever trades for him is responsible for like the average mean of that salary. So what it means is he's making like 8 or 9 right now on the end of his rookie deal. If we traded for him, it would account for 14 million of our salary cap this year, and then 15 or 16 the remaining of his extension when it kicks in next year. And so it's a little complicated because you have to send the way you're taking more back than you're sending as far as salary. Pause. Like that sounded kind of crazy. But you could, I ran it through the thing. You could send Moody, Looney, and Corey Joseph to Atlanta for Okongwu. Would they want to pick? I don't know. It would really depend on how much they liked Moody. And not likely they're moving off Loon, right? But you never know, man. You never know. Maybe they've grown tired of his sloppiness. I don't know. But Moody is a Southern kid, right? And so I'm sure Atlanta wouldn't be a terrible place to send him. And it would also probably be a precursor to they're getting DeJounte Murray out of there, right? And so it'd be like Moody would fit better alongside Trae Young. And honestly, as Moody has gotten better defensively, I think his advantage may lie at the 2 spot. Remember how initially we were like, yo, he's not quick enough to be a 2, and then he's kind of not big enough to be like a 3-4 wing. But I think as he figures it out defensively, like he guarded Tyler, obviously he put the clamps on Hero the other night. No one noticed on our bench, but I don't know. They would have to like Moody, but what I think is offensively, Moody's advantage is maybe at the 2 spot where he can big boy other 2 guards. He's really strong and he plays off 2 feet, right? And he has like a power game downhill. And so I think his advantages lie at the 2 spot offensively. The question is, can he guard 2s? But yeah, I think that Atlanta as a team, that has a lot of it. DeAndre Hunter, for Wiggins, right? That's kind of, you're trading like the same player, change the scenery for both of them. But Atlanta is a team that I've circled here that's in a scenario where they've got to do something and they have kind of a weird roster. And so it doesn't necessarily have to make a ton of sense. Like there's not a specific thing they're looking for. They just got to do something. So that's why I've circled Atlanta.